Right now at a popular resort in Breezy Point near Brainerd, where 3 people were found dead. CeCe Gaines just got to the scene, and we, of course, are going to check in with her in just 2 minutes. But it is a busy news morning. We welcome you here on your Wednesday.
Yeah, and we welcome this fall weather because it is cooling down, John.
Finally.
Ready for the relief, at least I am.
I know. I mean, it's great outside. I mean, we've been out there. It's comfortable. It's comfortably cool. I know that's like an oxymoron, but I think you know what I mean here. We have the winds at 17, so getting out to the bus stop, I would go with a light jacket probably this morning, especially if you're west of the Twin Cities. Twin Cities 67, but notice we'll dip here. So the 8 o'clock morning, the elementary school kids, a little bit cooler as we go into that late morning bus stop forecast. We have 50s out west right now. These are current conditions, 60s in the Twin Cities, but even St. Cloud is going to probably dip into the 50, 58 range, definitely into that light jacket range. But look at the winds, 21 miles per hour. That's why you need that light coat, and it might need to be a raincoat because we're dealing with a little bit of light rain right now along 35 down to the Twin Cities. Very light in the Twin Cities. We're dealing with some more heavier showers in Norwood and in Waconia. We'll track this entire thing out in your full forecast.
All right, thank you, John. Meanwhile, look at the roads. Let's look at Maple Grove right now. This is a 94, or it meets 494. Moving along just great. If we check moving over a little bit in the North Metro, 169 where it meets County Road 81. So this is Brooklyn Park area, kind of near that Fleet Farm. Looking great as well. We're not seeing any major incidents on the road. Your drive times right now, very close to normal.
Well, back to that breaking news we're following at a popular resort up north.
Yeah, and the last 3.5 hours, police confirmed with us they're investigating 3 deaths at White Birch Resort in Breezy Point. It happened about 2.5 hours north of the Twin Cities in the Brainerd area. CeCe got to the scene just about 15 minutes ago. She has some new information to share with us this morning. Hi, CeCe.
Hi, good morning. Yeah, as you mentioned, just got here about 15 minutes ago, and right when we pulled in, we saw this BCA truck that's behind me. There's also several Crow Wing County Sheriff's Department vehicles here. We actually were able to speak to an officer this morning, and he said that more information would be released at some point this morning. But I'll step out so you can see it's pretty active. We've seen a lot of investigators going in and out of this townhome right here. But so far, police tell us they got here just before 9 last night, and when they got here, as you mentioned, they found 3 people who had died. They're not releasing any names until families have been notified, of course. It's still early on in the investigation, but police say there is no threat to the public. Now, as of this morning, we're told that no arrests have been made yet. Of course, again, as I mentioned, still early on in this investigation. We have reached out to the resort just to get any form of comments. We're still waiting to hear back on that, but we have continued to get information in this morning. So we will, of course, have another update for you in about 30 minutes. Guys.
All right, CeCe Gaines reporting live for us. We'll check back soon. Thank you.
We're also tracking a developing situation this morning at Armstrong High School in Plymouth. Classes are canceled today because of a sewage backup. Eva is following this story from outside the high school right now. Hi, Eva.
Hi, Jen. A health inspector will be here in just 2 hours to tell everyone whether or not school can resume tomorrow. Right now, the school tells us that the main issues are odor and contamination. Armstrong's principal sent out a message to families and staff saying that the backup is impacting buildings B and C, and that is where the school's kitchen and dish room are located. He says a professional cleaning crew has been hired to clean up the mess, and all after-school activities inside will carry on as planned. Now, the principal acknowledged that this is obviously a big disappointment. Everybody just headed back to school, and today would have been the second day. But he's asking everybody to be patient for now while they take care of everything in the building behind me. Guys.
Eva, thank you. Well, developing in the last 24 hours, Governor Walz is now saying he's open to a special session to clear up the confusion over a new state law involving school resource officers. It comes as Ramsey County Sheriff Bob Fletcher joins the growing number of law enforcement agencies in Minnesota pulling SROs. All 6 Ramsey County SROs are being pulled for what Fletcher says are liability issues. Fletcher says the new state law limiting how officers can use restraints on students could eventually lead to charges.
Today, kids went back to school, and they're less safe this year than they were last year.
Not what parents or students want to hear. The SROs served several schools in the county, including the Mounds View Public School District and 3 alternative schools in Little Canada. As for now, Fletcher says his deputies who worked as SROs will still spend 75% of their time at schools, but will have other duties. This morning, Minneapolis Public Schools is in the process of contacting more than 105,000 people who could be victims of a massive cyber attack. This was first reported back in February. School officials confirmed hackers got everything from social security numbers and addresses to bank accounts and driver's license numbers. The district is offering victims free credit monitoring services. If you were impacted, you should have received a letter or receive a letter coming here in the next 2 weeks.
Developing in the last 6 hours, police in St. Paul just confirmed with us they're investigating a shooting on Rice Street. It happened just before 10 last night. Police say the victim ran to a nearby Holiday gas station to get help. He's at Regions Hospital this morning and is expected to survive. No one has been arrested yet. Also new this morning, part of Stillwater Prison is still on lockdown. We talked to a worker at the prison about 4 hours ago. He told us the area locked down is the same section where 100 inmates refused to go back in their cells Sunday morning. As of right now, there is no time frame when that lockdown will be lifted. The rest of the prison is operating as normal.
In 9 days, more than 100,000 United Auto Workers are expected to walk off the job. Contract negotiations between the United Auto Workers Union and the big 3 automakers, Ford, GM, and Chrysler, are at a standstill. The union is demanding a 46% pay hike, a 32-hour work week with 40 hours of pay, and a restoration of traditional pensions. This comes weeks after UPS Teamsters ratified a historic contract that doubled pay raises and better working conditions. The union president says that's setting a new standard.
I think the hope of many workers is that it's not just going to be UPS, not just going to be auto workers, but all workers are going to help close that gap. So even though prices are going up, we'll be making more money, and it won't be as hard.
If Ford, GM, and Chrysler shut down, it would make an already inflated vehicle market and prices on vehicles even more expensive. The union's contract expires on the 14th, and they're set to walk off the job by the 15th. Well, the next 5 days, meat packers at Hormel in Austin, Minnesota could walk off the job when their contract expires. They're calling on Hormel executives to offer up a better deal. The last time workers at Hormel went on strike was back in the 80s. It caused the plant to shut down and led to a national boycott of Hormel products.
If you're still waiting for your tax rebate check, or Walls check as they've been called, make sure you don't throw it out by mistake. And here's why you might make that mistake: because the return address on the check is in Missoula, Montana. The State Department of Revenue confirmed they partnered with external vendors to issue the checks. U.S. Bank and Submittable is based in Missoula. Because it's also property tax refund season, the department does not have the resources to issue both payments. Individuals who filed taxes in Minnesota in 2021 with an income up to $75,000 a year are receiving $260. Couples making up to $150,000 should get checks for $520.
6:08 on your Wednesday.